It's finally Friday. It's Friday, Friday.
Thank God it's Friday.
Welcome to the Belmont Stakes edition of the Friday Show, presented by the Match Series. The Match Series, Ray, is on. Let me tell you that.
But not this weekend.
But yeah, of course, it's off this weekend. But it'll be back next week at Monmouth Park. I'm Scott Jagow, along with Ray Paulick. We're glad to have you with us. Ray, you know, obviously a day away from Justify trying to be the 13th Triple Crown winner. And if you look back through recent history, say the last 20 years, when we've had horses trying to accomplish this feat, only one of them, American Pharoah, did it. But of all those, almost all of them run their race and do well.
There have been some real heartbreaks.
Yeah.
Smarty Jones, real quiet, Silver Charm was close. You're right, other than Big Brown, who just simply didn't run that day, and the Bob Baffert horse whose name is
War Emblem.
War Emblem, thank you. Who stumbled at the start, completely lost all chance. Every one of those horses, second, third, fourth, you know, they run their races.
Yeah, and the other thing is, how does the horse like the track? I mean, we've seen Justify over at one time now, and he seemed to like it. According to his trainer, Bob Baffert, Justify's a superior animal, and you know, if he runs his race, he's going to be very hard to beat. But the Belmont that's the reason they call it the test of a champion, because it is so difficult with those sweeping turns and the deep surface. You just never know how that's going to affect A, the jockey, and B, the horse.
Yeah, you know, I've never heard a trainer before a race say that a horse that was just coming into town doesn't like the track. So we'll have to wait and see on Saturday until then.
Right, and they call it a rider's race, and if you look at this field, first of all, the trainers, the Hall of Famers and the other top-level trainers in here, I don't know if we've seen a Belmont Stakes with top to bottom this class level of trainer. And then you look at the jockeys, and almost all of them have experience not only at Belmont, but in the Belmont Stakes. One of them being Johnny Velasquez. And I asked him about, you know, riding in the race, and you know, you can kind of get lost on the turn and stuff. But he also talked about when you have a horse, whether they're a front runner or a closer, having the ability to adapt to the way the race is developing.
All depends on how we break out of the gate, though. You know, so it all depends if we break well, but I don't have to change or push him a little too much the first part of the race. And it all depends how we break, really. And after that, you know, we got to go and see how the pace is developing. And if it's still slow, I got to start thinking about what I'm going to change. And hopefully the horse allows me to change the things that I need to change. So there are things too you have to start thinking and what is happening at the moment that you have to change.
One of the things I find really interesting about the strategy for this year's Belmont is the fact that Windstar Farm is the co-owner of Justify, the Derby Preakness winner, and Noble Indy, who's trained by Todd Pletcher. Todd Pletcher has another horse in the race, Vino Rosso. He's got nothing to do with Justify. So will Todd Pletcher be giving instructions to Javier Castellano to put a little pressure on Justify? Will Windstar Farm be saying, you know, I think he runs best slightly from off the pace?
That's really
interesting to see what the horse ends up doing.
I guess my response would be, will it actually matter? Because we saw in the Derby a pretty fast pace, and Justify just dusted off those other front runners and kept going. And then in the Preakness, Good Magic went at him the whole race, and he put him away and kept going. So I don't know if there's anybody with the same classy speed, high cruising speed that Justify has. So if he breaks well, you know, they're all going to be trying to run him down.
Yeah, and he's going to run his race. You know, I don't think there's any question. This horse is 5 for 5. He's handled every circumstance that's been thrown at him. The question for me is pedigree.
Yeah, and you look through this field. There are a couple of other horses that have really nice pedigrees for a longer distance. And this race, because it's a longer distance, because it's on dirt, because there's a Triple Crown contender oftentimes here, there's just something special in the hearts and minds of people in this industry about the Belmont Stakes. And that is really the case when you come from New York, from Queens, like Mike Rapoli, the owner of Vino Rosso.
You know, I've been so blessed to win so many special races, you know, Breeders' Cup, Travers, Wood Memorial, Seagull Mile.
But this is the race. I mean, if you're a New York guy, this is the race, the Belmont Stakes. And to have a chance with 2 horses out of the 10, Noble Indy and Vino Rosso, with 90,000 fans and everybody watching because there's a Triple Crown at stake, it's exciting, very exciting.
All right, so Scott, you showed us an interview with John Velasquez, the jockey of Vino Rosso, Mike Rapoli, the co-owner of Vino Rosso. You're picking Vino Rosso, aren't you?
Well, to be honest, that has been my pick leading up to the race, and before the Derby I said Vino Rosso's got a great, running style for the Belmont and a pedigree. But I don't know, Hofburg is just kind of pulling me along here, and I'm thinking maybe Hofburg's the one to upset Justify.
You just like the fact that Tapit has won. The sire has sired 3 of the last 4, I think, is it?
It's true.
Belmont winners. All right, well, I think Justify wins the Belmont Stakes, but if he doesn't, Vino Rosso is going to be the one to do it. John Velasquez knows he's got to keep him close to the pace, closer than usual. He's kind of a grinder, and if Justify can't make that 1.5 miles, and there is some question about his pedigree on the top side, Vino Rosso picks up the pieces at the end.
So those are a couple of good picks there. It is a fantastic card other than the Belmont Stakes. So all the races leading up to it are great betting races. As always, one of the best betting days of the year. Is there anybody that has caught your eye outside of the Belmont?
Well, I mean, the whole card, like you said, it's a Breeders' Cup type card. First post 11:30. First Stakes is the third race, the Ogden Phipps. You don't want to miss that, or the Acorn. I think we're going to see something special in the Acorn with Monomoy Girl. But the horse I'm really looking forward to seeing is the horse that I liked in the Kentucky Derby, Boldoro, a 3-year-old going against older horses in the Med Mile. It's been done before. Was the Derby a fluke, or is he off his game now? I really want to see this horse bounce back in the best form.
I like a horse in the Just a Game, one of the many grade 1s on the card, named On Leave. She is trained by Shug McGahee, who is always dangerous on Belmont Day. She's 4 for 5 over the Belmont turf with 1/3, so she loves it here, and I'm hoping maybe I'll get a decent price on Leave in the Just a Game Stakes. So, who do you think is going to win the Belmont Stakes? Take the poll on our website and let us know heading up to Saturday's final leg of the Triple Crown. Crossing our fingers about the weather. That's going to do it for the Friday show presented by the Match Series. Enjoy.